To start with, can you say your name and what years you were here?
Yeah, I am Chardonde Samuels, and I was here from 1999 to 2002.
Okay, and is your maiden name Samuels?
No, Matthews.
Okay. And so, what was your favorite high school moment?
Okay, my favorite?
Yeah.
It would have to be, it's not necessarily a moment, but it was a class, and it was Mr. Tanaka's class. So every time I had that class, it was phenomenal.
And what class was that?
Oh gosh, I can't even tell you. It was, it's kind of like history, but you did like a lot of projects, and you had to like make your own countries, and
Okay. And then, what was your most embarrassing moment?
gosh, I think I probably flashed the teachers on prom night when I had to go back into the limo. So I called in and my dress. So I'm pretty sure they got a good handful.
Alright, that's really funny. So, I was looking in the yearbook and I saw you were in some peer tutoring groups?
Yeah.
You were a peer counselor?
You found the
Yeah.
fun stuff. Wow. Oh my god.
You were a peer counselor and you were also an Ebony Club.
Yes, I founded Ebony Club when I was here.
What's Ebony Club?
I don't know if Prospect still has it. They did a few years ago, but it was basically a way for all the kids who were of African American descent to kind of get together and discuss social problems, problems in the community, things we wanted to do differently, how we felt. Because when I was here, I was about one of six.
There was only like 6 black students here?
Yes.
Wow, how was that?
Last when I started.
Really?
Yeah.
How was that?
Challenging, but it was interesting because a lot of them came from families that moved from the city, and I've always grown up in the suburbs. So it was a very different kind of social.
Oh, that's
experiment.
interesting.
Yeah. So it was
I
nice.
didn't know
I still
that.
talked to a lot of them, but
All right.
interesting.
Now into the questions.
Okay.
Were there any movies that stood out to you in your high school
Save the
era?
Last Dance.
The Last Dance?
Save the Last Dance.
What's that about? I haven't seen it.
Oh my god. Okay. Wow. People haven't seen a lot of these movies. Okay. It's a dance movie.
Mhm.
It's kind of like Step Up. You've seen Step Up?
Yeah, I've
Okay,
seen all
there
of the
you go.
step-ups.
Yeah. It was recently one of the first ones, and it had Julia Stiles as the lead, and she was a dance, ballet. Mom died. She moved to the city. It's based in Chicago. Ended up going to an urban school, decent black guy, only white girl. So it was one of those that they had to overcome their different problems from different backgrounds, and they did it through dance, basically. It was a huge hit. Dance class paid it all the time.
See, did you take dance?
Yeah, I did dance.
Who was the
too.
teacher?
I couldn't give you her name. She was short, very petite, dark, curly hair.
I don't know if she
If I
works
saw
here
the
anymore.
yearbook, I could point her out. I don't remember. It's been like 13, 14 years.
Okay, so you graduated in 2002, right?
2002. I
So-
graduated a year early.
Huh?
I graduated a year early.
Oh, congrats!
Oh, thank you.
So, in 2002, reality television boomed. Do you remember any of the reality TV shows?
Real Wars, Road Rules.
Do you remember American Idol?
Oh yeah.
Was that big here?
Okay. It was a little bit. It didn't really pick up until after we left, but kids who were in choir seemed to like it.
And Real World, did that impact anyone? Like, did it actually relate to students' lives?
To a certain extent, I think a lot of people idolized it, especially if they were younger cast members who were like 18. It's something that you can aspire to do. Go out, you see the world, and you see it through a different perspective. And once you graduate and you go into the real world, it's very different.
Yeah. Alright, and then, so J.K. Rowling wrote all the Harry Potter books. Did you see a lot of kids walking around with those books in the halls, or did kids not really read them?
You know what? I don't really remember anyone really reading it, and I didn't read it until I think like 2012. So
Did everyone see the movies?
people saw the movies. Yeah, a lot of people saw the movies. But I don't remember being talked about a lot. It didn't seem to be as big of a deal as some other things that came out.
Okay, and let's see what's next. Okay, so yeah, in 2000 to 2004, there were a lot of new fashion and social trends. People were sagging their pants and putting their hair up into funky do's. Did you participate in any of the weird styles? I know the chokers were big too.
Yeah, chokers were big. I had chokers. I had bangles. I didn't really do anything. Like sagging pants was like all the guys.
Yeah.
Anything as far as me, it was like the baggy pants with the elephant legs. I had a couple of those. But it was a different experience for me because trying to fit into a school where it's predominantly white.
Yeah.
And some of the fashion trends doesn't really fit towards your own background. It's a little bit different. So.
Okay. And then in 2000, the school's annual bonfire was canceled. Do you remember that?
Yes, I don't remember why, but I remember a lot of people being upset.
Yeah. Was there a protest or what happened?
No, I don't remember anyone really protesting. But I remember a lot of kids talking in class about how they were really mad and they would bring it, and it was just a big. Kids were being a little bit more defiant towards the teachers.
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest thing was probably homecoming, the whole being in the gym. Because kids kind of disrupted it, and a bunch of guys got together and dressed up in different superheroes, and while they were announcing the homecoming princes and princesses, they ran through
Really?
the entire thing. Yeah.
Because the bonfire was canceled.
It might have been. I didn't really relate to each other. It
Yeah.
kind of took, a lot of people by surprise when it happened, but you see staff members tackle the kids, and it just disrupted the entire ceremony.
Wow.
So that was like the biggest thing that happened like that fall.
I saw in the yearbooks that girls wore long dresses to homecoming. Was that?
Yeah, that was
thing?
really popular.
Really?
It was standard because I think back then we considered the long dresses more elegant. When we kind of grew up, we be more of an adult. Wearing a very short dress to a dance was just considered like a little scandalous. Like if you wore a short dress to school or to a school dance, you were probably
Really?
yeah.
Is it weird seeing girls now that wear like dresses that barely cover themselves?
It's in schools it does. If I'm out and like when I was in my early 20s and going to the bars, it didn't. You're in a bar or whatever.
Yeah.
But in schools, definitely, it was a little shocking to see.
Wow, that's so weird. Okay, and in 2000, do you remember Dane Anderson? He had a drug overdose and died.
Yes.
Did the school have any more like drug education after that, or was it kind of just brushed off and not really talked about?
It wasn't really talked about.
Really?
A lot of things that happened back then was a little bit more taboo. And I don't think, not just Prospect, but schools in general, I don't think they really promoted it the same way expected. We grew up with DARE, don't do drugs, this is an egg, this is your brain on it, drugs, they should be like frying. And then if you took sex ed, you had part of the drug education in there as well. But it was nothing that was, overly shown or discussed. If anything, there was like counselors for those that needed it, but nothing that truly was.
Okay, and what class were you in on 9/11?
You know what? I couldn't tell you exactly which class I was in because I was actually getting assigned out to go home sick.
Wow.
So I was actually wandering in the front by door 4, and I happened to go into the attendant's office, and they had TV playing, and you see the planes hit, and everybody's just frantic. And then people were talking about, oh my God, I'm going to Chicago, and they're going to cancel school, kids home, and it was just like chaos. Like,
Did Prospect kids get sent home?
a lot of kids went home.
Yeah.
Some kids, I don't think some kids got signed out. They just walked out the building. Other kids got in cars and drove home. Everybody was a bit frantic. It was a big thing.
Yeah.
It's a normal school day, and TVs are all over the school with planes hitting. And you see the chaos and the rubble getting people down, and it's just, when you're between the ages of 14 and 18, and you see that, it's a bit shocking because you don't completely understand and comprehend what's going on at the time. You just know if it's something drastic.
Yeah.
Adults are upset.
Did Prospect do any fundraisers to help with 9/11?
I really did. I remember a lot of kids doing posters about 9/11, and I believe there was like a little drive, especially the kids that lost homes and parents and things like that. So I remember kids bringing clothes to school.
Okay, and also in 2001, there was a school shooting in California, and then some kid at Prospect played a huge prank after it, pulling a fake gun, and he got in a lot of trouble. Do you remember that at all?
Yeah, slightly.
slightly?
Slightly. It's a long time ago.
It's okay if you don't remember it.
No, it's certain things stand out to you. Other things that you're closer to, you have a bit more clarity on. Other things that you don't really pay attention to, it's a little bit harder to recollect. But you do remember that one of my friends were upset because they knew the kid. And they were pissed off because he was supposed to be getting kicked out of school. And a lot of kids at that time also wore kind of like grunge clothes, like long trench clothes, and every kid that wore those got kind of singled out. And we're watching them looking for stuff, trying to take their coats off, like they changed their clothes to wear. So it was like
So the dress code changed?
a little bit, yeah. Like and you'd see, if you, I'm pretty sure it's some of the yearbooks, but kids in like really long trench coats and like the long jackets, and you'd see them wearing it around school, and they were putting on that you couldn't. Like,
You weren't allowed to wear trench coats.
no, not if you were to school to take it off the street down the building, you couldn't have it out during the day, you couldn't have it overly baggy on your body, steal stuff, so.
Now it's like the exact opposite. They encourage you to wear trench coats, especially girls. Wow, that's so weird. Alright, so you know the band Green Day?
Yeah.
Did you listen to their album American Idiot?
Yes, and we also had some of their songs on graduation.
Yeah. Did you know that American Idiot was about 9/11?
No, I did not.
No?
Oh.
Alright, well, is there anything else you'd like to add about Prospect, about your high school experience?
I don't know. I would just say that for people who are graduating, just really take the time to get to know yourself. And if you can't go away to school, go away. You'll grow up a little bit faster and get a little bit more education. And if you go to college, stay with it. Don't drop out. It pays to get a degree, and live your life the way you want. Don't worry about what other people say because it doesn't matter.
Okay, is that all?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for